And we can just dance the night away until we get no more. I'll shake all the hurt away so you can feel and forget who you used to be. For just tonight, could you just dance the night away?
Alright, so this is going to be the video about chefing. Now this is specifically going to be part 1 of chefing because, as I said, there is an achievement part that we had to complete in order to get the garden box. Now, we're going to try and get it. We're going to follow the guide, and I think this guide, I'm going to look at the list real quick. This guide takes us from 0 to 400. He's 0 to 400, and then I think there's 500, and there's the 400 500 section. Okay, so we're gonna try and get the. Oh, like I said, like yesterday, I will pause the video and I will grind it from then to there. This one is the cooking station right here. It's got the little cauldron. This is the NPC obviously you talk to. It's in Lion's Arch on the other side of the starfish from where the artificer is. Now, it's so different than last time with Artificer. If you want to become a chef, you talk to the chef. He will. Oh, sorry, I grabbed the wrong thing. He will have his first icon. Instead of having these, it'll have a little thing saying that you would like to learn about chefing. You say yes, and there you go. After this, he'll start selling supplies. Now, he will sell some different supplies, you'll notice, compared to other vendors. Now, granted, he still has some of the basic ones, like the frames and whatnot, but you'll notice these things. These are karma, and some items you'll need to craft foods will need karma bags, and these hold like so many of them. It'll be like herbs and some special foods. So chefing actually has some food that's exclusively for it that you can get via karma. Now, granted, anyone who picks this up or comes over here and talks to him, I think can buy these things from him. So you don't have to have chefing, but it's only useful to you if you're chefing or if you're trading them to your homestead for stuff. You know what I mean? So they're good for supplies. But you'll never find some tomatoes out in the world. You have to find it from him. I don't know why there's certain ones you can't find, but you can. So, this leads to the other bit. If you go up to the staff right here, this is a little fickle right now since I said no to it.
It's nice to see you.
Yes, I see that. There you go. Feels like it should be right in front of the thing, but it's this table here. Okay. As you can see, I don't have any points towards it. I'm going to follow the guide to lead me to it. Now, the reason why this one's important to know, other than the fact that you can make ascended food later if you max it out. Ascended food is extremely useful for World vs. World, guild stuff, raids, strikes. It can be useful for. I've used ascended food in specific fractals. I don't suggest it because technically it's a waste, but I didn't have any. I'd made extra that time, so it made it a little bit easier for specifically Lonely Tower and stuff when we got to the 2 bosses. So, and especially if you have people who don't have agony or don't have experience with it, it gives them a little bit of extra help, but not a requirement. Like I said, ascended food's very useful for you and everybody else. There's also, you can craft certain dyes and things. I've not really gotten to the dyes. A lot of people like the dye thing. So if you like Fashion Wars, this might be your favorite thing. Also, on top of that, there's a lot of things you can craft that will get you some money, because also, similar to Artificer, you can use the research kits on them. So if you've got Ender Dragons and stuff, you can use stuff on this as well, and it can save you some food. And also there's research stuff you can make. I think the research things are universal amongst several things. But yeah, so it's kind of useful for those things. But and also, like I said, even if you don't ever use the ascended part, having the ability to craft your own food is beneficial, especially as seasons come along and come and go. Because a lot of people during Halloween and stuff and Winter's Day will will make themselves food that they can eat, because the food during the event may not be as good as what they need. Anyways, it works. If you're snacking on the drops from the event, you're doing fine. But some people want a little bit more heft kind of thing, specifically with Halloween. Some people will eat foods that give them speed, some give it to where they have better magic find, etc, etc, etc. Anywho, so I'm going to start the leveling from here to there, and then I will meet with you back up here and explain some more information as to why I've broken it up this way. And hold on. Right. So I am back now. I have finally got my cooking up. Now, I followed the tutorial on the website and got it from 0 to 455. Now, 425 is the sweet spot because I looked it up while I was doing it, because this is when the chef appears, and this is when the next part of the achievement occurs. Now, there's a lot of prep work for it, so I may end up having to go to my main tune to do some prep work, like maybe some of the meals for it, but I don't know. You're gonna need like bloodstone bricks and heated rocks and stuff. So it may just be that this next part will be a little bit of its own extent. But now, if you just want the fish fillets, for instance, if you want to just be able to make yourself fish sushi for fishing, there you go, right there. This is not a discoverable like a recipe. It just happens at some point. And you'll learn it, and you'll learn how to make all of the sushis. Now, there's a benefit, as I said before, to the sushis. They last 30 minutes. The magic find doesn't matter. The fishing power is what matters. And then, obviously, XP for kills helps, too, because then that gives you some more XP on killing them. But there's also yellow sushi as well. This is a rare. I don't normally suggest this one because, as I said, magic find doesn't really affect the fish, and you're wasting your rare fillets. But it still has the same fishing power too, so it's not really that good. This is used for another ascended food, but I personally never make the sushi one because it's like the ascended recipe I'm thinking of. It's called something like Flight of something, but it's got like all of the different sushis on it. It's like a little sushi tray that you present to your team, but I don't like it that much because of how expensive it is on the fillet aspect. Whereas the one I use, which is the crab patties or the pancakes, the little crab pancakes, they actually only use the pink meat and they don't use much of it because you don't need a ton of it. If you choose to do the artificer and the cooking, you really don't have to worry about time, because the one thing that people have an issue with, other than the fact that pink fish is important, or the ascended flesh is important, is that it is the time right on it. So getting the ascended food and then getting a primer from the artificer really helps with that. Now, as you can see, I'm not maxed because he appears. So yeah. Let me see the other one. There's another one. I think it's red's the next. No, I think it was either red or orange. Orange. Where is it? Here. This is the orange. This one also has a fantastic. Same problem. You have more magic find, but it doesn't really help. Like I said, it's just not as important as the fillets. Because the reason why the fillets matter more than magic find, other than the fact that people have said that magic find doesn't change anything, I don't personally know. I feel like magic find matters in general. It doesn't matter like specifically for fishing. But here's the thing. Why bother with magic find when later in the game, when you max up your fishing, you can take these fillets and upgrade them. So no matter if you're having a crap day at fishing, then all the cheap fillets will just build up and you'll still get amber gristle. That's the thing about it that makes it so OP with that. You can't lose. All you have to do is, the only way you can lose at fishing is by not putting in the time. And you could do it 30 minutes to an hour, spend whole days. I've spent 6 hours doing it one time. I like fishing though. But the point is that you can spend as much time as you want and get back profits eventually. And there isn't like a super bad day. And see, this one's expensive. I've told people, if you're gonna craft anything with pink fillets, do not make this. Pink fillets are very expensive, and this is just not worth it. The magic find isn't really worth that at all. And like I said, you can use this to craft ascended food, which is far better than that. But it gives you the options. You can make your own white fish. You can see the recipes. You can buy them. You can craft them. You can sell them back. A lot of people buy white fish. So there's another thing. And if you end up having like the jerky recipe from the Four Winds event, I don't have it on this tune. It'll pop in here too. At one point when I might show the recipe for it on my main tune, but for right now it's not important. The Four Winds event will be coming up next year, and then you can snag it if you haven't. If you don't, then you don't forget. But yeah, so you can see that right now I have like I can craft some acidic stuff with this level, but not a ton because I'm pretty sure that this letter that I just got here is from him. Yep. So at 425 on leveling, you'll get this letter from this chef. And what you have to do is go back to your home instance and stuff. Now, this from here, this is where the achievement starts. You start going and doing some things for him. Now, I'm going to stop here, though, with this. This is part 1 for it, and we'll do part 2 later, because I need to prep for it, and I need to get a list of the things needed. When I first did it as on my main account, I'd already gotten really far into the game, so I had access to all the vendors, locations, and all of the foods and things pretty well. I had, like, a lot of stuff in stock. Now, with this particular toon, I may have to farm for bloodstone. I don't know. And as far as the heating stone, I don't know what I'm missing because I think we need like 3 heating stones. But anyways, as I said, we'll get to that point. But like I said, if you don't want to, as I said at the beginning of the video, if you don't want to do fishing and like the cooking and artificer part of it, you can skip these videos on the topics. But for those who are interested, then this will cover it. And like I said, the other thing that makes food good is that we do get dailies every now and then saying, oh, kill a monster while under the impression of food. You can go in here and just craft yourself something if you have the ingredients for it. And you're normally going to have the ingredient for something. Get some salt, get a potato, you have french fries. Boom. Eat that, pop it, last for 30 minutes, go kill 10 enemies. Boom. You know, so it's kind of nice to be able to have this because of that, and the same thing with Artificer because the two of them, they sometimes pop up as a daily where you have to use a utility or a food item to kind of boost your numbers. Also, it's going to be useful when Halloween rolls around because you could start crafting some things for Halloween, or you could just have those things in the ready, and, you know, just kind of nice. I know some people like to craft some Halloween candies and foods for both the funsies and the sake of it. I also know that some people will make themselves utilities for the maze and stuff, the Halloween maze. So, it is something to consider. And these videos are kind of short because I literally have sped past a lot of the meat and grit of it because it's not super hard. It took me about an hour and a half to get this one done, just like it did Artificer, but that's because I actually went through the list. The website that I'm going to provide on both videos has a list of things that you need to buy from vendors, and then or from the vendor, this vendor, and then it'll list like the TP ones where you have to go on the market and get it and stuff, to try and get it in there.
Impressive. You fight like a natural born dwarf.
I learned from the best.
And sorry, the character conversation. And then once you get all that, then it's just back to back crafting. I've only ever had to leave the station like once or twice because I miscounted or because I accidentally auto-craft something. But it wasn't damaging or damning or anything like that. It was just kind of, oops, I used an egg when I shouldn't have. But, as I said, also that the website I'm linking also is no, it has a habit of giving you a little bit more XP, so it'll say on there, oh, it'll get you to 420 or whatever, but it normally gets you about 425 or something like that, because they give it a lot of leeway in case people have started kind of crafting a little bit, then this, you know, that kind of falls into it. Since my characters were fresh, I actually ended up getting like 5 levels extra onto it. And same thing with Artificer. Now, another thing I'm going to say is I actually will probably, the next video and stuff, I will probably go for fishing. Not the next, the video after the next video. Basically, there's going to be another shepherding video, and then there'll be a video for fishing. But on this one, I'm actually going to go take us into Arborstone. Now, Arborstone is story blocked, and you can't go turtling in there with people. We tested this. It's pretty sure that was the case, but I couldn't remember. So Arborstone cannot be got into unless you do the story. Now, I've cheesed it by having my husband let me TP to him. So that's another thing too. If you get TP to friend, you can have someone go into Arborstone and TP to you, or TP to them. So that way you can get in here. Now, I might TP in here next time. I'm doing the when we skipped the crafting options, and I'm going to show you what it looks like before you get any achievements. And then I will probably end up going through some of the story in order to unlock it, because in order to unlock story, you have to get like from here to here and go there, because this is important, because this is your first fishing hub, and it may be your only fishing hub in the game, unless you are using the scroll. And I'll reiterate this on the next video I do on the matter too, when we do Arborstone, so that I can explain. But for right now, this is going to be your hub. It's going to be even where you can get crafting stations to do things, so you can do your utilities and stuff. There's always the pavilion, a scroll as well, which I'll also showcase as well at some point. I always suggest it if people want to be making your fishing life easier, because you can use your fishing to buy the pavilion. I did that. I saved up my gems and got it. And then now I have access to a fishing hub. That's very useful. I also like crafting there a lot, because the crafting station for cooking is right beside the cell vendor. So, because one thing about Lion's Arch, just a little bit disbenefiting, is if you're over here crafting, the Lion's Post is right over there. And like you have to normally go on your mount, walk over here and get your stuff, come back and do crafting. Right? Not a big deal, not a big inconvenience, but it gets to be a hassle if you're gotta go, right? And in the pavilion, the cooking station would be like right here, and the vendor is like right over here. So I literally could basically scoot my way over here, grab stuff, and come back. And I really like the area too. But we'll get to that part again. As I said, I'll cover more on that. But the next video after this, I'm hoping it'll be the chefing and how to go from 450, basically it was 425 is where you need to get it, to the finishing product of being able to craft stuff. And then hopefully we can do the achievement for the garden, to get the garden box and stuff. And then I can show you what kind of things you need to plant in order to make your primers, because the recipe will not show up if you've got it right now, like how I've got leveled up for Artificer, and I've got cooking leveled up. It doesn't show on Artificer that I can make utilities. The reason is you need the garden plots to do that with. In order to do that, you have to max Chef out. But once you do that, then you can actually start growing the stuff you need to make utilities. And utilities are useful for, all kinds of things. So, anyways, I'm going to leave it here, and we will continue on.